Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ghost Stories with Anjelah. I am your host, Anjelah Johnson-Reyes, to be specific. That's my full married name. I go by Anjelah Johnson still. I'm debating if I want to do Anjelah Johnson-Reyes, for all my things, because then I have to, change all my posters and, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if I want to do it. You guys tell me. Leave me a comment. Just kidding. That's dumb. You guys, thank you for joining us. Everyone who's watching on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitch. If you're listening to the podcast right now, thank you so much. If you guys didn't know, we're a podcast now, so you can listen to us and subscribe to us and all those things. Before we get started, this is what I'm drinking today, you guys. My cocktail of choice is a sipping tequila. And let me show you this tequila. Look at this bottle. We got this on our road trip. We just drove from Los Angeles to Nashville. And we stopped in a bunch of different places. We stopped in Sedona. We got this tequila. It's an extra añejo. And it's been aged for 12 years in a whiskey barrel. Hello. Can I get an amen? Thank you. So that is what I'm drinking tonight. Cheers, everyone. I like to let it sit before I feel the burn go down my throat. And it's just so smooth and delicious. So shout out. Oh, I got it at I should say the name, Spirits and Spice Tequila. It's a store, actually. I want to say it's like a really cool name, but it's just Spirits and Spice. Sorry, no offense, Spirits and Spice. We got a really great show tonight. Before we jump right in, did you guys see the video that I posted on my Instagram and my socials and everything? The video of the cat getting freaked out. Ryan, let's pull that video up for those who didn't see it yet. Look at this cat. He's sitting on his owner's couch, and then he stands up on his hind legs, and he looks like he's about to swat something walking by, and there's nothing walking by. And he starts swatting the air. Nothing, you see nothing else on camera but this cat just swatting the air. It is so creepy. And then his brother cat joins the picture and is like, yo, what was that? Let me call in some backup. I got your back, homie. And now they're both in the living room. And then the cat just gets freaked out by something and jumps. And nothing is on the camera. This is unreal. I'm very curious. This video is from Adam Ellis, who that video went viral a couple years ago. It was a whole thread on Twitter where he's like, yo, my house is haunted. And he posted a bunch of security footage clips. Listen, I had one sip. I promise you, it was one sip and I'm already... Anywho, super creeps. Love it though. We have a good show tonight, you guys. We are finishing our Haunted Comedy Club series where we have interviewed the GMs of comedy clubs across the country that have experienced hauntings. And I'm going to tell you right now, every club is haunted. Every venue is haunted that you go to. So I wanted to bring people to Ghost Stories with Anjelah and share the haunting stories of these comedy clubs. I have my dog Bonzo here tonight as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the GM, once GM of the Hollywood Improv, Rita Piazza. Welcome,
Hi.
Rita. Hi. No, you're not the GM anymore, right? You were.
No, I came here from Tempe in '99, and I was the GM for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm like, I really was missing my time with the talent, because my favorite part of this business is watching people go from that level where they're just trying and finding their voice, and then they blow up. So they were amazing to me, and they just said, okay, you want to be a talent developer? I go, yeah. So
that
it's like a dream job. It really, really is.
I didn't even know there was talent developer. What? That would have been nice to know. Maybe I would have.
Right? Well, because I mean, well, back in the day, it was, it would be Bud, and Bud would just nod. He would see people and go,
You're good.
boom. Um, so I'm really, really grateful that they kind of carved this out for me. And I was just starting it, and then the whole COVID thing hit. So I'm really excited to see where we can take it. But that's like my heart and soul is with the babies that are just starting. So
Yeah.
I give them feedback. I'll watch their sets and I'll be like, that sucked. That worked.
Yeah.
What were you thinking here? You're on to something here. So
Yeah.
it's amazing.
I love that. I'll tell you, I just did a set tonight. I'm here in Nashville, and I went and I did a set over at Zany's, and you would have thought I was under development or something. Like that was
You're trying all new stuff.
it was all new stuff. And I was like, listen, you guys, they start somewhere and then they get funny. So they're not funny for your show, but the next one going to be hilarious.
But that's what's so great is watching the top level work your stuff out, because you can see the little tweaks and how the joke kind of emerges over time.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's some gems in there. You just gotta.
Thank you. All I heard was you called me top level. So thank you.
Boom.
Okay, so you cheers me, and I talked right over you earlier. Cheers,
Cheers,
babe.
sister. Okay, that tequila would have gotten me so in trouble. I went through my phase with tequila like 13 years ago, and now I can't really even smell it, but that bottle sold me. I may dip back in.
Well, you may join the club again.
This is Jack, so
well, I'm looking forward to next time I'm back in LA having a drink with you in person and sharing more ghost stories, maybe our own ghost experiences together.
Anjelah, I can't wait. I'm here in my office for the first time in a really long time. And when we set this up, it was daytime. Now it's dark, and it's like an old friend. I miss it because this is like not a job. This is a lifestyle. We live in this. There's an army of us that just live in this club.
Yeah.
So to be back here, we do have an amazing skeleton crew. It's like running some great stuff out of the kitchen, doing what we can during this time.
Yeah.
But just being back here, it's like I see a light at the end of the tunnel, though. I think like we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
I hope so.
For sure. Can't wait to come back. And when I do come back, we're gonna walk through all these places that you're about to tell us about tonight.
Yeah.
Those who don't know, the Hollywood Improv, do you call it the Hollywood Improv, the Melrose Improv? Because it's on Melrose.
Both. I tend to call it the Hollywood Improv, but within the company, it's more Melrose. But yeah, Hollywood Improv.
So the Hollywood Improv, you guys, think about the greatest comics that you've ever seen when they were young, coming to work out their material. Jim Carrey, Jay Leno, like all the guys coming and just starting out at this club. Like there's so much history at this club. There's so much energy at this club. And within that energy, sometimes it lingers, and we have some stories tonight. Let's go ahead and so wherever you want to start, whichever story, let's pick it up.
Okay. So I've been with this company for 26 years now. And when I transferred here in 99, I was a pup. But I was so excited to get, the transfer from the Tempe Improv to here.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, my boss at the time told me, Rita, after a certain time, Melrose gets really dangerous. So if I catch you, I was the closing manager. That's what you do when you're new.
Mm-hmm.
You work from 4:00 in the afternoon until 4:00 in the morning between closing paperwork and all that stuff. So I was the closer.
Yep.
And I had just started. And these stories that I'm about to tell was all when I was just starting. And other stories I've heard from other people, it's always like the new managers. It's like it's testing us.
Like your initiation?
Yeah, like not sure if we're supposed to be there or not. So these all happened when I first got here. And my boss, so at the time, my boss is like, okay, Melrose gets really dangerous. You cannot be at that club by yourself. And if I catch you there by yourself, I'm going to fire you.
Oh.
So, and he was dead serious. And I said, okay. So I don't know. It's like, I feel like a few weeks in.
My dog is squeaking his toy. This is a professional setup we have here.
That would be grand old time.
Can you get the squeaky toys from him? My dog is full. He doesn't understand. This is work from home where your child interrupts your Zoom calls. This is my interpretation of that, where my child, my fur baby, is interrupting the Zoom call with his squeaky toys.
It's kind of like the comics in the background a lot of times when I'm trying to have a regular conversation. It's like them with the squeaky toy.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
So my boss says, don't you dare be at that club by yourself. So
Right.
cut to, I'd been there, I don't know if it was a few weeks or it was really early when I started. And it was like 3:00 in the morning, we close at 2, and you have to balance the whole night, right? So you collect all the money and you run it up against the reports. And Anjelah, I was off like by several $100s. I knew it was very clear that I missed something. I miscounted something. I was missing something. And the poor
Start
door, I knew I was going to have to start over. And this door guy was downstairs and he was like sleeping on the table. He'd been there all day and he was exhausted. So I said, hey, Dan, go ahead and go home.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not supposed to leave you alone. I'm like, Dan, I am in really big trouble. I'm going to have to start over. It's going to take me a long time. Just go. So I hear the door close and I'm sitting there doing my paperwork. And I heard very clear, like if you don't know my club, you walk into my club and our offices were upstairs. There was a stairwell that went straight upstairs to the office. And you walk up the stairwell and then you had to go and duck under this wall. Our office was kind of like a tree house.
Uh-huh.
And so I was in this like treehouse office and I could hear very clear weighted footsteps coming up the stairs.
Uh-uh.
And I 100% thought my boss was there to check on me and that I was about to lose my job. And it is so clear to me that it was not like a light. It was boom, boom, boom. There was no question in my mind that somebody was there. And so I was thinking, I'm fired. And I went running out and there was nobody there. So that was my first incident and it was creepy. And I was scared.
Were you more scared that there was somebody, like a human in your club that's about to attack you, or that there could be a ghost?
I knew that the club was secure. That's a really good question. No one's ever asked me that. I thought it was my boss. And when that I saw it wasn't my boss, I felt like it was an entity. It's funny. I didn't. The second experience that I'll tell you about, I thought it was people, and I thought that that I was in danger for sure.
Okay. So wait a minute. So you heard steps coming up. Nobody ever appears. So then you get up and you're like, "Who was that? What
Who
was
was it?" And I just
you ever
felt it.
finished counting the money? Like I would have bounced and been like, "Listen, I know you hired me to do this, but I'm gonna count from home."
No, I totally finished counting the money, but I knew, like, it's giving me goosebumps now. I knew there was something there. But the next situation is when I really got scared and then I had to like start calling people for advice because I'm like, there's something in this place.
And this was you were upstairs and this was the stairs going up. Ryan, why don't you pull up the photo of these stairs?
Right. So those are the stairs that go straight up. And if you go up, I sent some other pictures. There's a full wall there to the left. That's our mezzanine area. And the mezzanine, we had like booths up there and we would serve dinner up there for super, busy shows. To the right. So that's where like on the right side was dining and, comics could hang out if they wanted to. But on nights where we didn't need it, it was just dark. And our office was, so you walk up the stairs, our office was to the left. And now there's a doorway there, but there wasn't a doorway. It was just like a pony wall. Yeah, that's the doorway that's there now. So if you just imagine that wasn't there and that wall was a half wall, it was a pony wall.
Yeah.
Now, that's the entrance to my old office. Do you see how low that wall is? We had to duck in and out of it.
Who constructed this?
Way before my time, but like everybody was in there. Photos in there. We would just every night we would duck in and out. Now we've made it.
Blueprints of this building, please, and who designed this wall?
Now it's we're making it into something really cool. It's going to be a green room for you guys to hang out. And I can't wait for everybody to see it. Yeah, it's cool. But we spent years up there as our office. So you can see, so that's looking out. So if you walked under that wall and straight out to the left, that would be the stairwell.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Now that's the entrance to the office. So if you were walking into the office, you can see in the distance that white wall that's kind of halfway there, half down. That's how far we had to duck down.
Okay. So this next story is nuts. Let's hear it.
It was in the same realm of that starting point for me. And again, it was late. And I had one person up in the office with me. And it was around the same time, 3:30 in the morning, same situation. I was actually done with my paperwork.
Okay.
And there's kind of a backstory to it, but the person that was with me, I had to ask him to leave. Okay. Things started getting, and I'm like, okay.
Getting a little handsy.
It's time for, he wasn't getting handsy, he was just getting mouthy. And I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go.
Yeah. Bye.
So everybody had been gone for a long time. So it was just the two of us in this office. So I hear him, he reluctantly leaves, and I hear him walk down the stairs out the door, and I hear him, close and secure the front door. Anjelah, within less than a minute, it sounded like 4 to 6 people in my showroom throwing furniture around.
Oh, no.
Like throwing chairs, mass commotion. And in my office that you just saw, there's the wall there. On the other side of that wall is the showroom.
Yeah, it's like right there.
It's right there. So it was so loud and so disturbing that I froze. And it was like, I asked myself, I remember very specifically, I said, because it stopped abruptly, right? I stood up and it stopped abruptly. And I thought, did I just hear what I heard? And it's like it answered me, because it went boom, and just this crazy loud furniture being thrown around. Anjelah, at that moment, I thought that there were people hiding in my club, and they saw my friend leave,
right?
And they thought they were alone, and that they were stealing all of our equipment. Like they thought they were alone in the building, and now it's time to do damage.
Especially because this is the 90s, when it's real seedy in that area.
Right.
There's people in the back alley doing drugs, doing all the things in the back alley. Like that would be normal to think that. Oh, and now it's our turn that we're getting robbed.
I honest to God thought that we were getting robbed. I had my phone and my keys. I hit my head. I thought they were going to end up coming up to the office. My mind was going a million miles an hour. I'm thinking they're going to start with our equipment, and then they're going to come looking for money.
Yeah.
So I ran out of the office. I slammed my head up against that half wall.
Again, the contractors, I'm going to need to speak with them.
I almost fell down the stairs. I ran straight down those stairs. I almost fell down the stairs. I burst through the front doors, and I ran all the way down Melrose past Fred Siegel. Fred Siegel to the right of us?
Yes.
I ran all the way past Fred Siegel's, and I called 911. And I'm like, hi, this is the Improv. There is somebody robbing me in my showroom right now. There are people in my club robbing me. No. And I swear to God, and the cops came. They were in here like 15 minutes. And they came out looking at me like I was there's nothing. They brought me back in, and the showroom was perfect.
Oh no.
And to this day, when I am an old lady dying in my bed, I will say that this was so loud. I will never question what I heard. Wow. It was to a degree. I called my brother-in-law was going to be a priest before he met my sister, right? So I
She changed
called.
plans real quick.
Yeah, she changed his mind. But I called him and I said, do we believe in this? You know, I, I, I
Are
heard
we
this.
allowed to?
Am I allowed to do this? Anyway, he said yes. So
Antonio Hernandez says it's crazy. No one would believe you unless you were there. I mean, I believe it. And I understand that too. Hey, are we allowed to believe that? I get that a lot. Like I usually get some comments in here. They're like, wait, I thought you're a Christian. What are you doing talking about all this evil stuff? And it's so interesting to me. And it's so entertaining and it's so real. Like I believe in all of the stuff, the spirits, the orbs, the thing that's happening. Like we don't understand everything. Our little brains don't understand everything. Sorry, everyone. But
and
that
like I didn't buy into that kind of stuff before this. You know what I mean? I didn't have any kind of experiences until this. And it wasn't until that time that I'm like, okay, there's something really wrong here. And we've had managers tell me, like one young lady said she was when she started as a manager that she felt somebody like push her down those stairs. Yes, I've had door guys say that they saw the door open and close, that because after the renovation there was that door.
Did you ever get a team to come in and check it out?
Yes, taps came in.
What's tap?
I don't know. I'm not in my emails right now, so I forget what it's, but they're like an investigative team. And they came in and we stayed here till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was when we were being renovated. And they really didn't tap into anything, which we were all surprised because a lot of the experiences are up in that mezzanine. Because I saw 2 shadow people right in that area later. But when taps came in, they had some energy in the showroom. Like they had those lights that light up. And they said that it was Bud had an assistant named Fran, who we all loved, Fran Cowan, and she had passed a few years before, and they were just having me call out names. And I said, and she had passed, and I said, Franny, is that you? And the light came on, and they just asked like random questions. But
What light came on?
It was like they had these lights set up, Anjelah, where like if there's an energy, they brought them, yes. And
okay,
it was like they would light up if there was a change in temperature or change some type of dynamic in the energy changing. But we really didn't finish it out. I don't think it didn't make it to episode, obviously. But I think it had something to do with the renovation, or they're just, whatever entity's in here is just really smart and wasn't having any of it. I don't know.
Jacqueline Morales wants to know, did you feel like anything there was evil? Like, did it feel evil, or did it just feel like there's
no? It felt like it was testing me. Like you were saying, this place has so much history, and there's so many generations of people that have come through here, from comedians, writers, fans of comedy. So it feels like it's geared towards new people, like they're testing us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like after they realize that we're like guarding the place, that we're here like as guardians of the place, then they start leaving us around. Because now when I'm here by myself, I feel at peace and like loved.
Do you think they were laughing at you when you went running down the street past Red Seagull to call 911?
Probably, but
and
like
the police are coming and looking. Like I can just imagine these spirits like full on being like, "Oh my god, we got her."
They're definitely mischievous, Anjelah. Like my next 2 stories are about shadow people, and I didn't know anything about shadow people. Okay. But there's one. It was the same one that I saw twice up at the top of those stairs.
Okay.
That I think that it seems very mischievous. So no, I don't feel like it was evil.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Shadows.
Have you heard of shadow people? Have people talked to you about shadow people?
I mean, I've heard people tell stories about like there was a shadow that walked by, and then there was the outline of this guy with a hat or whatever.
A fedora hat. Yes, it's like very thick. I had never heard of shadow people, and these 2 situations happened after I heard the footsteps and the craziness in the showroom. But it was busy both times. it was busy, and I was a manager on the floor, and our offices were up there. So throughout the night, if you cut a server, if you cut a bartender, you'd have to go upstairs and check them out, right? You'd get their
Mhm.
money, lock it up, and then go back down on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, the mezzanine was dark. Both of these instances, the mezzanine was dark. It wasn't open.
Okay.
And the first one was just me. And I was walking up the stairs and I saw a clear outline of a person. It was male. It was like probably like 6 foot. It was big. Felt like
Big,
it was a big guy. And
big
he walked.
burly.
It was like if you're walking up those staircase, he like walked from the staircase into the right side of the mezzanine. And I thought it was a customer who was like lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke and I was like, honey, what are you doing up here? Do you need some lights here? Let me help you out. And there was nobody up there. So I paused and thinking, that was weird.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? But then a few weeks later, I don't know if you know Jay. Jay has been here. Jay's a manager here. He's assistant GM now, and he's been here almost 30 years. And
Wow.
Jay was a server at the time, and I had cut
Wow.
him. It was in between shows. That hallway we have. It was jam packed. The first show was coming out. Second show was going in. It was just mayhem.
Yeah. Oh my God. That hallway is like, it's so cool. Just to interrupt real quick for everybody who's never been to the Hollywood Improv. So this hallway, like when they're in between the first show and the second show, it's you see the audience members who are coming in and out, but you also see all these different comics, and you never know who it is that you're going to walk right past. And as a comic, like, you see people that you haven't seen in a while because I'm on the road, they're on the road, or whatever, and it's like, oh, hey, there's Sarah, there's whoever,
Right.
Here comes Eliza, and like, how are you? I'm going up here. Okay, I'm out. Bye. So that hallway is like, there's so much energy in that hallway.
And that's like where everybody hangs out, like you said, and they catch up. And then, back in the day, Bud would come out during the show when people like yapping in the hallway, you can hear it coming in, and Bud would go in there and go, everybody be quiet. He'd clear it out. Yeah. And now it's me. I pop out and be like, you guys, I can hear you, be quiet. But there's a lot of stuff going on. But so I told Jay, I cut Jay and I go, Jay, go upstairs. I'll meet you upstairs in the office and I'll check you out. Give me a couple minutes. So I'm doing whatever, turning the room, and I'm like, I better go upstairs. So Anjelah, I walk up those stairs again, and there's that same outline of a person, but this time it's at the top of the stairs, and Ryan has the pictures. This time, okay, so I'm walking up the stairs. You see the picture.
Yeah.
It jumped.
Mm-mm.
From this vantage point to the left. It like was hiding from me. It jumped and like crouched down.
Oh,
and like I said earlier, that wall to the left was not there. It was a half wall, and there was like a bookshelf there. So it was literally like he jumped and was hiding. And I spoke again. I thought it was Jay, thinking he would be funny and like jump out and scare me. So I'm walking up the stairways. I'm like, Jay, you're such a butthole. Like, I see you. You're gonna scare me. Blah, 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 blah. And he wasn't there. And that's when I started digging. I started telling people about it. They're like, well, you saw shadow person. And I started looking into it. And there's a lot of information about them. I mean, so many people have seen this shit.
Do you know if any of the comics have ever experienced anything or felt anything? Have you ever heard any stories from them? Like,
no, it's been staff. Like, I've heard stories. The new GM here, he just told me today, he's like, I'm like, you're new. They mess with the new people. And he said that the curtain, he was like painting or doing something in the hallway. And he like closed the curtain, and then he turned around, and when he looked back, it was open.
See?
So he just told me this today. This is brand new, but people have said about like seeing a man sitting at the bar.
Oh.
Like, when you first walk in the club and there's like that inside of the bar, not by the window, but like towards the
Like a
You know,
little cubby
that little
type.
cubby right there,
Yes.
that there's a dude sits there. I've heard
Mhm.
people say that there's a dude that they've seen upstairs in the booths in the mezzanine,
Boots.
doors
Pamela,
closing, but
Pamela
not
Simmons
comics.
Pamela Simmons wants to know, how old is the building? Do you know how old the building is?
It is over 100 years old. It was originally a furniture shop,
No
and
way.
then it was the Ash Grove, which was an amazing. They had like Bob Dylan. It was a music venue in the 60s during the civil rights movement, and actually the man who started the Ash Grove, he just passed last month. His name was Ed Pearl. He was amazing, and he would have the Black Panthers meet here on Sundays.
Wow.
And there was like people threw Molotov cocktails through the front
Of the
windows, like
Improv when it was
of
the
before it was the Improv, it was the Ash
Whoa.
Grove, and before that, it was a furniture store. We have pictures that
There is so much energy
it
there.
is like, and it. I think our landlord is like third generation in the family. They're just wonderful to us, and so it's been within the family all this time. But yeah, there is so much history here.
Wow. That is incredible. I feel like I'm gonna go back with so much just like a different mentality, a different awareness when I come in there, because I feel like everywhere I go, I just assume it's haunted. I'm like, there's something here. There's an energy. There's gonna be
Mhm.
something. But and I always say, like, I don't want to experience the scary thing. I just want to hear about it. So I like to hear about
Like,
your scary experience. I don't actually want to experience it myself.
no, I'm the same way. I mean, with the stuff that happened to me at home, still terrifies me to this day.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
because the person who asked earlier, do you feel like this is a evil energy that's in the Improv? And no, it's not. It's not
no,
evil. It's just some energy, some spirits hanging around. But your stories that you have of your house feels a little different. It
it
feels
is.
like it could be evil energy. But let's tell everybody what happened at your house. And what time frame is this? Are you at the Improv during this time? When is it?
Oh yeah, I'm always here at the Improv. I've been at the Improv forever. This is, yeah, it's within the Improv. Um, and this is probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Ooh.
And so I live in this great little cottage. It's 100 years old, but it's like a 1 bedroom. It's just gorgeous. It's got like little colonial, like little colonial pillars out front, French doors and windows, but it's tiny, right?
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
like a little guest house cottage,
Yeah.
but it's really old. And I had my first experience was I had this acquaintance of mine, should I say, and she was the kind of person, she would help me out with stuff, and she was the kind of person that had like, you know, addictions in the past, but she'd been clean for a long time. But
Mhm.
she was always very kind to me. But she just had, those people that you feel just have like a you could tell that there's a darkness about them, like
Yep.
whether it was like situations that happened in their lives earlier. There was just, she was, like I said, she was
Going
really great to me, but like you could tell that she had experiences from before, and she wasn't like
Yeah.
a really happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
Well, she was helping me. She First and only time she came into my house, she brought in some groceries. She walked into my kitchen. I have a little galley kitchen, and there's
Mhm.
a doorway. She walked into my kitchen, and she's like, it was almost kind of socially awkward. Like she didn't want to be there. She wanted to just drop the stuff off and leave.
Huh.
She drops the stuff off. She goes out my front door. Anjelah, I saw from the doorway, it was like following her out. She exited my house, and this thing, it looked like a goat.
Ooh.
It was on its hind legs. It was
Oh.
see-through. It was like brown in color. Um, Very fast. It was very swift. But it was like it went with her,
Ooh.
followed her, and it was like I could see the horns. It was oh,
So it walked on its hind legs?
it was on its hind legs. It was very fast. It was
Mm.
swift is like the best word I can come up with. And it like went from like this across the doorway. It like went with her. And I
Mm.
remember thinking, okay, I think she just brought something into my house.
What
And
did you do after that? Did you, like, sage it? Did you rebuke it? What'd you do?
My parents came here from Sicily, so lots of
Yes.
rosaries, and I don't talk about that with a lot of people, but that's kind of my go-to would be that,
That's
just and praying our Father
yeah.
and Hail Marys and all that kind of stuff. But I remember being so pretty like God, something just I felt like it left. I felt like it came in with her and it left, but I'm
Yeah.
like that definitely came in with her.
Ooh,
And
you're sensitive. You're sensitive to spirits.
I
Like,
think so because I'm like emotional and I've got like this kind of energy and I'm open. I'm emotionally open.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's
but
incredible. I actually, one time I walked into someone's house. First of all, people carry energy with them, and it's draining for like us comics when we do a meet and greet after a show. And I love to hug people again pre-COVID. I love to hug people and really like engage with people and hear their stories and hear their hearts and everything. And by the end of a meet and greet, I am just like drained
spent.
of energy. And there's sometimes where you feel people have something going on and you're like, wow, there's a lot. Like this person just took so much from me right now. There was this one time I walked, not at a show or meet and greet or anything, but one time I walked into a friend's house years ago. And I remember I walked in, and to the left of her living room, she had this little statue on a shelf. And I had never been to her house before. It was my first time at her house. And I walk in, and immediately I felt this thing like staring at me. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, "Where did you get that statue?" And she's like, "Oh, I got it on a trip and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "I think you need to get rid of that. I mean, it's for you to decide. This is your house, but I think there's something on that." Like I could feel it and I felt
It's
it
like
staring at me.
it's like a tension. It's almost like you can it's like it's palatable. Like you can
Oh, I
feel.
jumped on the inside and I was like, I don't think you should have that in your house." But again, it's your house. You do if you don't feel it, do whatever. But I think that's if you feel anything, I think it's from that. That's the thing that
Yeah, Angela, I had that feeling with one of those those candles that have like Jesus on them. They sell them at grocery stores.
do I. They're at
My
every
They're
memorial
everywhere.
shooting in the hood. So
my
yes.
my grandma, my nonna from Sicily used to burn those, and I brought one of those home one time. I brought them home several times, but one of the times I brought one home, I had to get rid of it. I got up in the middle of the night and I took it outside and threw it into the garbage because I. It's so crazy that you're saying that because I had the same feeling from it.
Mhm.
I'm like, there's something wrong with this one, and I'd used them before, but this one I felt like had something wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What okay. So your goat, uh,
Then
tell the
the
others
worst. Yeah, the worst.
from your room.
Uh,
The one
I
from
was in
yeah.
that still to this day, I sleep with pillows on my feet.
Yeah.
I was in my bed and I felt I was like trying to go to sleep. So, and I felt not abrupt, but very slowly, I felt like these hands taking hold of my feet and ankles very slowly but firmly and started pulling me down my bed.
Mm-mm. Are you
And
awake? Are you asleep? Like, is
I
it like
was
you think you're
trying
dreaming
to go to
it?
sleep.
Okay. So
I
you
thought I
can
was dreaming
really
it.
feeling it.
The reason why it was so real was because, and I know it was something, was because I had printed sheets. Like my sheets had like flowers with like a border on it. And Angela, I could see the pattern of my sheets slowly going by my face.
Uh,
Does that make
uh,
sense?
yes.
Like, and
Oh,
I thought somebody broke into my house. It's amazing how your mind thinks. I'm
yeah.
like, somebody broke into my house. They hit me over the head and they're pulling me off my bed and
Uh,
I'm going to hit my head like I'm gonna slap my head on the floor.
Yeah.
And I just remember the pattern going by my face. And I woke, and I don't know if I woke up or I was screamed, but I was on the edge of my bed. I was like my feet on the floor with my, like on the end of my bed. So I moved.
Oh no.
And to this day, last night, I sleep with my decorative pillows on my feet. I guess it's like a
Mhm.
security blanket thing because I can't feel that again. But yeah, I slept with like a big Italian cross in my bed with me for probably a month.
A big
I would
Italian, not just a regular cross, an Italian
Italian.
cross.
I slept with this cross next to me for like a month, and I would pray every night, please God, please, like I don't know what that was, but please get it out of my house.
Ugh.
And that one's affected me to this day. And it's weird because like when I go back home to Arizona and I stay with my family or I stay with my friends, I don't have the same situation. It's just at my house. That at nighttime, I'm like, if this thing grabs my feet again, they're gonna have to commit me.
Was this before or after the goat vision?
After.
Mm. Do you think it
Hmm.
was something lingering from that?
I don't know, and I've always wondered. I've never. I'd love to sit down with somebody who's like, an expert in this kind of stuff,
Right. Yeah,
um,
yeah.
because I literally just go to our faith. I go to my faith, and I just say out loud, get out of my house.
Mhm. Yeah, I rebuke
Say
you.
all the Jesus things.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I mean, I don't know what else to do.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed
Yeah.
be thy name. I remember all my Catholic prayers for
Oh my
sure.
God. And glory bees. I yell glory bees, glory be to the, I mean, I just yell it and I'm like, but it was just that one time. And, I've had people say, were you dreaming? I'm like, I wasn't dreaming. I've had night terrors and night paralysis and all that kind of stuff in my past. And I was not dreaming on this one.
No.
So
Oh, yeah,
mm-mm.
but you have experienced, sleep paralysis.
I have, I
So you
have,
know the difference then. So yeah, then
I do. Yeah. And sleep paralysis is like, you're just stuck and
mm,
you can't move and you're like trying to
mhm.
move. And like I remember just like I'll like be staring at a wall. It's been years since it's happened, but I remember like just staring at a wall and it's like you just can't move your body and your brain's like move, move, move. This was different. There was like movement and it's those sheets. It's the
Antonio
sheets that kill me.
Antonio Hernandez says, "Yes, one night we woke up to something bumping our footboard so hard, I just jumped out and nothing was there." Wait, footboard? You have a footboard? Oh, I get it. Okay,
Yeah, like a sleigh bed like that. I think
okay,
that's
okay,
what.
okay. I was like, "Wait a minute, I know headboard, but footboard?
You know
No."
what though? You hear this a lot of people like some entities or like people getting touched while they're in bed, like tickled
Yeah.
in bed or like a hard pressure on their chest, sitting on them.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, yeah, my dad has a great story. I mean, he probably don't think it's great, but, he has a story of, he was sleeping in his bed one time, and there was, like, an entity sitting on his chest until, like, he couldn't breathe, and, this was, like, after my parents had just gotten divorced. So I'm young, I'm, like, 8 when my parents got divorced, but I remember him telling that story that he was asleep one night, and there was just this entity, like, sitting on his chest and, like, putting weight until it was hard to breathe, and it's stuff like that that is, uh sure, maybe people don't believe you, but you know your experience. You know what you felt. You know that you weren't in sleep paralysis. You know that you weren't sleepwalking. I've
mm-mm.
never heard of anybody in sleep paralysis moving. Sleep paralysis is
Right.
paralysis. You don't move. And then, I mean, sleepwalking, usually you're actually like walking, but sliding off the bed like that?
Yeah. I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you, like, I really don't talk about it. It's crazy. I'm like, when Ryan said, hey, do you want to come on be on this? I'm like, I don't talk about this to a lot of people, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna put it out there because this happened. And maybe it's just because, like I said, like we're just more open and we're more sensitive to things like this.
Mhm. I
Just being sensitive to people and caring about people and just having that,
Yeah.
extra connection with people. I think that there's something open about our spirit, really.
There really is, and I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing these stories, especially because they're so sacred to you and you don't share them with everyone. So I thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with me and everybody who's watching and listening right now, because they're your truth, they're your stories, they're your experiences, and that's what this show is about. Like, I want to hear everybody's like real experiences with the spirit realm that we think we know, but we have no idea what really it's about, what's happening on the other side. Like, is it a demon? Is it a spirit? Is it a ghost? Is it my grandma? Is it like all the things, And it's so intriguing to me. So I love to hear these stories and investigate and ask the questions and learn and just share our experience with everyone. So Rita, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much. I had so much fun, and I can't wait to see you here again at the club. I just want to tell everybody, like, our patio's open on Thursday and Saturday nights from 6 to 10. We have an amazing skeleton crew here, and they've got like yummy menu with like burgers, chicken sandwiches, and we have
Are
some
you
of the
guys
staff
are
here.
you guys still doing the chicken restaurant?
We are Poultrygram. They have resident taco and Poultrygram that like you can get through Postmates and all that stuff. So that's really what's been keeping us going.
Good.
But now they're starting to open the patio so people can at least come and mingle and say hi. And it's
Good.
obviously limited capacity and it's socially distanced safely. But it's I came by Saturday and it was just so nice to see people. It's like, I don't care if I wanted to hug. It was really hard not to hug and kiss everybody, but I'm
I
like, oh
know.
my God. So we'll be all together again soon.
Yeah, so if you guys are in Hollywood, the LA area, you can order Postmates from Poultrygram and
Resident taco.
Resident Taco, because
Mhm.
that is actually the improv that's working that. So you're helping keeping the improv open. And honestly, if you're not in LA, if you're anywhere where there's an improv, then call them up, look them up, and see if they are offering like food to go and things like that, so you can help support these comedy clubs and keep them open. Order to go food, or if they're doing socially distance show, go check it out. If you're down for that, socially distance, wear your mask, all the things. And these clubs are doing a really good job of being safe and following all the protocols and everything. So as we all ease our way back into life, don't forget about the improv and what they're doing. So check them out, improv.com. You can see what comedians are going up, and it's just we're coming back. We're
Comedy will be back with a vengeance. I mean, I think it's going to, be a lot, maybe like the 80s. I mean, I think people are just dying for the laughter, and I can't wait.
Inspiring. That's inspiring to hear you say that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you were here with us tonight, Rita. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you. I'll talk to you soon, and hopefully see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night. You guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget, Ghost Stories is now a podcast, so you can go to laughonbeat.com and subscribe to our podcast there. Go to wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and we're going to be on it. Ghost Stories with Anjelah. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to come on the show with me and share your ghost story of something that happened in your life, in your childhood, I've had a couple people reach out and be like, hey, this happened to my dad. He doesn't want to come on the show, but I can come on and share the story that happened to him when he was a kid. Come on, share it. I want to hear it. So go to anjelah.com/ghost stories, ANJELAH.com/ghost stories, and you can submit your ghost story there. And then I may pick you to come on live with me, and then we'll share it and have so much fun and share a cocktail and just do life together. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope to see you next time on Ghost Stories with Anjelah.
Yeah, I know I'm a problem, but don't be afraid of me. I'm a god, I'm a fallen angel with devilish pedigree. Yeah, we walk the night on the wild side. No, you can't get away from me. Cause the way you move, it's the way you move. Got me feeling the chemistry. The sun goes down and the beast comes out. Yeah. We're the wild, run, better run.
Before we hunt you down.